more drama. So I've already made a video today about maintenance crap. Now I have more drama. An issue with paid miles on a load. So USA Truck pays short miles, household goods, zip code to zip code. So every load that I do, I'm shorted by anywhere from 1 to 20 miles. Somewhere in that range. It could be more than that. But I'm always shorted miles. Now, so there's an expectation whenever you get a load from USA Truck, the miles are going to be close to what the GPS says, but they're not going to be the same. There's going to be some disparity between them. And the miles that you get paid are going to be shorter than the miles you're actually driving. So that's just the way it works. Some companies are kind of crap like that. But on this load, there's some kind of issue. It's not explainable by zip code to zip code short mileage pay. So whenever they initially put this load on me, if I remember correctly, it was 654 total paid miles. There's 23 empty miles and like 631 loaded miles. And somewhere in that area. I know it was in the 650s. It was 651 or 654. Somewhere in that area. And I'm pretty sure it was 654, and I'm pretty sure it was 23 empty miles and 631 loaded. I'm like 90% certain that that's what it was when the load was first put on me. After I picked up at the shipper and I was going through trying to do my loaded call, put in my information from the bill of lading, the miles had changed to 536 loaded and 26 empty. And I was like, what the fuck? So I went through my entire trip plan again, and I looked through the fuel route again and verified my trip plan was correct. And according to my GPS, I was using Google and I was inputting the route that was on my fuel route, and Google was telling me it was 626 miles. 626 and 536 is kind of a big difference. That's not, the zip code to zip code short mileage variance. That's a huge difference. So I messaged the driver managers and I said, hey, the mileage changed on this load. It was correct. Now it's not correct. The loaded miles are showing 536, and the route is about 100 miles longer than that. And they basically replied back and said 536 is correct. So I replied back and said, well, the empty miles are, I tried to be nice about it. So I tried to reword what I was saying instead of just repeating exactly what I was saying. But I basically said the same thing in a different way. And they came back and said, we pay zip code to zip code. Shit. All right, four-wheeler, don't open your door. I'm getting passed by a car that is flying by me, so I cannot move over for this person. There's somebody sitting in the driver's seat. Alright, we're good. Sorry. Fucking, so many bad drivers. Why would you block somebody in like that whenever they're coming up on somebody on the shoulder? It's just, people are so dangerous and rude and disrespectful on these roads. Everybody's just out for themselves. They don't give a shit about anyone else. There could be somebody dying on the side of the road and no one would care. Well, not no one. Very few people would care. The majority of the people are just worthless pieces of shit that only care about themselves. Anyway, enough of that rant. Back to the topic at hand. Oh, damn. Alright, now another interruption. I'm coming up on a four-wheeler that is going really, really slow. I can't judge exactly how slow, but it looks like a wrecked pickup truck. Oh, it's actually a truck towing a truck. But I moved over before I got very close to them because I could tell that they were going really slow, but I couldn't tell how slow. I think they were going about 50 miles an hour, maybe 45. But, all right, now hopefully we're good to go. What was I saying? So I tried to message back and forth with him, and they wouldn't look into it. They just told me that it was correct. They said that they checked it and it was correct. So I'm like, okay. So they weren't signing their messages, so I didn't know who I was talking to. And I was thinking, well, I could call in and talk with my driver manager, Haley, and because it was around 8 a.m. whenever she comes in. So I said, I'll just call in and talk with Haley and get her to actually look into it, because there are a couple of after-hours driver managers that are really lazy, and they don't actually check on stuff for you. David Phillips, I think is his name, is the worst one. He just regurgitates shit back to you that you've already told him, and he does not, like, one of the biggest things that you message the driver managers on is to verify appointment times and stuff, because a lot of the information that you get on the trip plan is incorrect. And he'll just read back to me what's on the damn trip plan. So that's basically what they were doing on this, was just telling me that it was correct. And they weren't looking into it. They weren't trying to figure out where the fuck up was at, even though I told them that it was like 100 miles difference. We're not talking like 2 or 5 miles. I'm not trying to get compensated for 10 miles here. And so I was like, oh, I'll just call in and Haley will actually look into it instead of just regurgitating the crap that's on the trip plan back to me. And so I said, who am I messaging with? Because they weren't signing their messages, and they replied back and said Haley. So it was Haley that was doing this to me. For anybody who doesn't watch my videos, I had an escalation to Haley's manager about a week ago over crap like this of pay issues, compensation issues, and she put her foot down and was not willing to compensate me. There was an error, and she wouldn't compensate me for it. Last time it was layover pay. I waited over 24 hours for a load, and she refused to give me layover pay. This time, the load was 100 miles short on the paid miles, and she was refusing to give me the miles. So her operations manager gave me his cell number last time I escalated to him. So I called him. He didn't answer. I left a voicemail explaining the situation, saying that, hey, I got a load. The miles were correct when it was initially assigned to me, but the mileage changed on it, and now the loaded miles are about 90 miles short. And I've tried to get this corrected with the driver managers, and they're telling me that it is correct and that the company pays zip code to zip code. And I said, I understand that USA Truck pays short miles, but I expect a discrepancy this large to be corrected. And that was pretty much the voicemail. And he messaged me about 30 minutes later, said that he was in a con call, and he'd give me a call whenever he was done. Then he messaged me about 30 minutes after that, and he said, hey, I listened to your voicemail. Yeah, well, I'll definitely, he said he'd get it fixed for me, and he'd give me a call after he got it fixed to touch base with me. And I replied back to him. I said, as long as we're getting it all fixed, I said, well, thank you very much. I said, as long as it all gets fixed, then there's no call necessary. And I said I really appreciate it. And that was the last communication I had with him. I really hate that I have to escalate to an operations manager to get paid. Like, why? Like, this is like some basic things that the driver, like, this is the basic driver manager responsibility. Pay me layover pay, detention pay, and all that pay whenever I'm due that pay. And if, the miles, if there's something screwed up on the load, investigate it and get it fixed. This isn't like explained away by zip code to zip code short miles. This is 100 miles off. I called the fuel department and verified the route and everything. That maybe I thought maybe I screwed up and like I wasn't inputting the route correctly or something. Oh shit! There's a car up here with people walking around it, and I've got somebody passing me. And there are so many people on the shoulder today. It's just constant people on the shoulder. Alright, he's on the other side of the vehicle. Alright, we made it by him without incident. Another flammable 3 tanker. Here within the last few minutes I've been passed by, this is the second flammable 3 tanker and then a flammable 3 dry van. A bunch of flammable 3 rolling past me today. I wonder if it's fuel. I can't imagine a dry van hauling fuel. Maybe it's barrels of fuel. Maybe it's barrels of oil. Seems inefficient to haul fuel or oil in a dry van in barrels. The tankers would be a lot more efficient. But who knows? Who knows what they were actually hauling? A lot of hazmat rolling up and down 45 in between Houston and Dallas. But and that's something else I've seen a lot of, is people are buying the hell out of cars right now. I'm seeing used cars and some new cars, mainly used cars though. A lot of paper tags, or signs like stickers, window stickers, stuff that makes it kind of obvious that these cars were recently purchased. I've been seeing a lot of that for the last week, and I think it has to do with the stimulus checks and the unemployment checks and stuff. A lot of people are making a lot more money now than they're used to, because they're making a lot of money with the, like, imagine that you were making $300 a week and now unemployment pays a $600 a week bonus on top of your base unemployment. So if you're getting like $100 a week unemployment, now you're getting $700 a week unemployment, and then you just got a $1,200 check on top of that. So for somebody that makes like $300 a week, man, you just got 3 or 4 months of pay within a couple weeks. So I think that's why there's so many used cars that I'm seeing on the road. I'm not seeing as many new cars with paper tags. It's mainly used cars, and I think it's a lot of people that are making a lot more money now than they were when they were working. Man, that guy is hauling ass. 2 of them, bumper to bumper. Yep, both of them were paper tags. I'm telling you, man, there's just used cars are got to be selling like hotcakes right now, and they were going 90 plus, bumper to bumper, right by me. Tons and tons of paper tag cars on the road. So yeah, I'm a little annoyed that that I have to escalate to the operations manager. If I was not moving over to lease soon, which that's still up in the air, you know, the Wuhan virus and the economy and all that stuff, I may not move over to lease as soon as I possibly can, because I may not be able to make money as a lease driver. I'm not going to get into a no-win situation, but I'm planning on moving over and becoming a lease driver, an owner-operator, on or around June 10th. So I've only got about a month left. If I didn't have a month left, I would demand to be moved driver managers. I requested to be moved driver managers last time she did this. This is the second fucking time that she's put her foot down on not paying me. And if I wasn't a short timer, then I would demand to be moved to another driver manager, because I'm tired of this shit. I don't like how much time that I'm having to spend getting this stuff corrected. Like, I have so much shit that I do throughout my normal day. For me to sit here and go back and forth with driver managers over this shit, all I want to do is just, if there's an issue, all I want is to send a brief message to them explaining what the issue is, and them to come back to me saying, got it. That's it. You know, this is what I did to fix it for you. I don't want to go back and forth with them debating and arguing and them telling me, nope, that's all you're getting. You know, shit like that. It's not like I'm trying to get extra pay or anything like that. I'm just trying to get compensated for what I'm supposed to be compensated for. There should be no debate on that. That's not a topic to argue about. But anyway, I'll leave the video at that. We'll keep it fairly short, 17 minutes. But that's the drama for today. I haven't had an opportunity to look and see if the load has been corrected yet, to see what it was corrected to. If it goes back to the original pay, that would actually be more than 90 miles. I think the original was 631 miles versus the 536. That'd be 95 miles that I got shorted. We'll see if it goes back to the original. But I hope that they find the root cause of the problem and correct it, so that I don't have to deal with this again. I don't want to have to call in on every load and tell them that something's screwed up and go through this every time. But Terry seems like a really good operations manager. I think he should crack the whip a little bit on his driver managers, Haley especially. And I haven't noticed a big change with her since the last issue. She seems mad and possibly spiteful in the few interactions I've had with her. She's very short with me. But you know, that could just be my perception. I'm looking for it. I'm expecting for her to be spiteful, because I basically escalated and told on her and got her in trouble probably last week. But man, these people are hauling ass. Speed limit 75 through here, but these people are going way beyond 75. That was not a paper tag. That was a regular Texas plate. But yeah, that's the drama for today. And hopefully it's over and done with, and we can move along. I hope that, you know, whenever I stop for the day, my miles aren't the same. I would really like for it to go back to what it originally was when I was assigned the load, 631 loaded, 23 empty. But anything close to that would be a huge improvement over the 536 loaded, 26 empty that I'm currently on. Going from Baytown, Texas to Bentonville, Arkansas. I picked up at a Walmart distribution center and I'm delivering to a Walmart distribution center. And I don't have enough miles to go all the way, or enough hours to go all the way. Because of all this drama and because of the breakdown, I'm running against my 14, so I'm not going to be able to do my full 11. If I were able to do my full 11, it would have been within a couple of minutes on whether or not I would have been able to make it to the destination. But now that I'm running against my 14, it's put it a little out of reach. So I'll probably end up stopping 30 minutes to an hour away from my final and delivering it when I wake up after my 10. I would really like to have delivered it today, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.